Hey guys, Shadows here, welcome back to another Gears of War video. Today we're going to be discussing the Gears collection with these new insane Gaming Insider rumors, including wait, no multiplayer. The Gears of War franchise has always been one of the most diverse experiences in gaming, not only because of specifically being a third-person cover-based shooter and perfecting it to the point of an active reload, but more so based on the fact that the Gears of War video game product has always included several major pillars of the franchise, including a campaign story narrative versus multiplayer PvP to the Horde mode PvE, with communities built across all aspects of the games. As we get further into 2025 as the upcoming Xbox Game Summer Showcase approaches, which is likely happening on Sunday, June 8th, which of course as always I will be live streaming and live reacting on my channels. I thought after the Coalition finally made the Gears of War E-Day announcement last year that things would settle down, but it looks to be the polar complete opposite, as all of a sudden there have just been some all new Gaming Insider rumors that are just insane and will definitely upset some Gears of War fans. A month ago, I reported on the Spanish Xbox gaming YouTuber Extras who did discuss the Gears of War collection, saying that it is real, and it cost him a lot to corroborate its existence, and that it would be announced as a multi-platform game release across Xbox Series consoles, PC and PS5 at day one, but not knowing when the Gears collection announcement would be made. Well, just 4 weeks later, we have an update from Extras himself, that it's only the beginning of an out-of-control spiral of just absolutely insane new Gaming Insider rumors from a variety of sources that we're going to break down and make sense of right now. Firstly, to begin with, Extras reported on the Gears of War collection once again revealing that the forever rumoured and long desired Unreal Engine 5 remakes of the original Gears trilogy will finally be confirmed and announced at the upcoming Xbox Game Showcase in June for a summer 2025 release date, likely being around August time. This includes, as mentioned previously, a multi-platform release day one on the Xbox Series X and S consoles, PC and PS5, with maybe even a Nintendo Switch 2 release later down the line. He also did mention that Gears of War E-Day is targeting next year in 2026 as I'm expecting, with the slim chance to slip into the end of 2025. Extra's track record has been on fire lately, with leaking both the Forza Horizon 5 release on the PS5 being the next Xbox game title to make the switch, and the fact that a Tony Hawk Pro Skater remastered was going to be announced soon, in which both are now officially confirmed. Take that as you will. Next up then, we have a PlayStation YouTuber and Gaming Insider, Detective Seeds, who seems to have connections or knows about things getting added into the PlayStation Network on the back end before it goes live publicly, with him hinting at further evidence of a Gears of War collection multi-platform release, including PS5 at day one, by saying the following: Gears of War collection should be releasing early to mid-August. It is PS5 Pro enhanced, but I have been told no multiplayer PvP, a campaign focus only. For further on the Gears of War collection, the game is loaded onto the PlayStation storefront on the back end. It shows one player and does not show support for additional players. Gears of War collection will have co-op on the campaign, but will not have multiplayer PvP. There are 3 titles within this collection. Now this is where it gets super spicy indeed, on the fact that it does really look like after 10 years of talking about it, and you will know if you've been watching me or the YouTube channel for a long time now, that a Gears of War collection does look to finally exist. Windows Central executive writer and very credible Gaming Insider Jez Corden also commented on the Gears of War rumors merry-go-round recently. Unfortunately, some possible bad news, stating actually that he had heard no multiplayer PvP 2, in which he went in further into more detailed reporting as seen in the following. Looking into the Gears collection rumors to see if I can get something concrete either way, hang tight. Been unable to confirm or debunk this so far. Aside from the suggestion that there's some misinformation in the current rumors, I do think it would be an odd thing for any prospective Gears collection to ship without PvP. I'd say don't worry too much about the most recent rumors for now and wait for something more concrete, but we'll see. We'll keep digging. As of right now, I would say Gears of War rumors will always be Gears rumors. Of course, a Gears collection releasing with no versus multiplayer or Horde mode after waiting this long would absolutely hurt and sting the Gears fan in me. But being so close to the potential Gears of War E-Day release, we almost have a brand new game title that I would rather the Coalition Studios' full focus and attention be on anyway. At this point, I would wait on hitting the active reload and firing away your Lancer assault rifle with the chainsaw revving in the sky for either a full Gaming Insider report, even better, the upcoming Xbox Game Summer Showcase itself in June, where the Coalition Studio will officially confirm everything Gears of War we need to know. Ever since the recent Gears collection with no versus multiplayer PvP rumors have broken out, a lot of the other gaming insiders, including specifically Xbox Era Special Nick, who is actually credited with leaking a Gears of War collection as the original source all the way back now in January 2022, as well as The Verge's Tom Warren, who has always been in support of Nick's Gears collection claims from the very beginning, both jumped on Jez Corden's Twitter thread by joking around about the fact that it has always existed since they both have said. There is also other gaming insiders including Nate the Hay and Randall 4, who we did report on a month ago that they discussed on Nate's Xbox 2025 prediction podcast the Gears collection not having multiplayer PvP if it were to be releasing in the same year as Gears of War E-Day, as seen in the following.
I think a Gears of War collection will also be released in the summer, kind of as a lead-in to Gears E-Day.
A special Nick listening to this podcast? Gears Trilogy. I mean, yeah, the collection has been a rumor for 3 years now. I think it first showed up in 2022.
I'll say last year, after seeing Gears E-Day, I was ready to let go of the collection and say, you know what, it's not going to happen, especially if Gears E-Day comes out in 2025, because it felt as though if there were to be a collection, you would have to release it in 2024. Give it a nice year gap between E-Day's release. I also kind of had in the back of my mind at the time, maybe E-Day isn't a 2025 release, but then you had a report come from The Verge and Tom Warren saying that Gears of War E-Day is targeting 2025. And when you look at the marketing history of Gears of War, they do typically announce the game 1 year in advance of its release. So if they are doing that here, if they are copying that, it would mean Gears E-Day is a 2025 release. And I just think it would be a good way to introduce maybe new fans to the Gears of War franchise by giving you the Gears collection. This way you have some familiarity with Marcus and Dom, and you have some of that history of what E-Day was. You understand why humanity is so fearful of the Locust, why they're in so much desperation, why they fear using weapons like the Hammer of Dawn, how weapons like the Lancer evolved and were prototyped and R&D'd to become these vicious weapons of war to chainsaw locusts in half and everything. So you kind of give a little context to everything, and maybe that would generate excitement to go into the prequel, to have some of these questions that the first game presented, and you're finally going to get those answers. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to will it into existence that a Gears collection is going to release this summer. The Gears collection would maybe omit multiplayer if they are to go this route. If you're familiar with the Gears trilogy's multiplayer, you know the first game's multiplayer is very different from the third game. So I think merging those three would kind of prove to be difficult. Whereas with the Gears collection, I think the main thing to deliver there is really just the campaign. I mean, this is all obviously just speculation of how they could approach this. But I think that would be the smarter avenue or way to approach it, is just give me the 3 campaigns of the Gears collection and then let Gears E-Day have a rich multiplayer with maps and modes and such. That's where players can invest a lot of their time and just dive into multiplayer and play it for the next several years. So games that I have heard will be released multi-platform in 2025 beyond the obvious include Flight Simulator will come to PlayStation 5 and Switch 2, and Halo to PS5 and Switch 2 as well. Yeah, I mean, I would also go as far to say that if a Gears of War collection exists and releases in 2025, I would say that would likely be a day one release on PlayStation 5 as well.
Next up, Mag reported 2 months ago that he had received some inside information that at the time both Gears of War E-Day and the Gears collection were to be releasing in 2025, but also gets credit for being the first to state that the Gears collection itself would not include any multiplayer PvP, only be solo co-op campaign only. Mr. Mag then returned with an up-to-date Gears Collection report showing that he had heard from the people directly working on the project itself that there will be an official Gears Collection announcement in June at the Xbox Game Showcase, with a release date slated between June and September, with a target of August 2025, bang on in the summertime, a multi-platform release on Xbox Series consoles, PS5 and PC day one, following the story of Marcus Fenix only, meaning just the first 3 games, no Judgment 4 or 5. This actually makes a lot of sense because if you haven't realized already, this August will also mark the 10-year anniversary since the release of Gears of War Ultimate Edition, the remake of Gears 1 in 2015, and the Coalition Studios' first Gears of War game title release. So what better way to celebrate with a Gears of War Marcus Fenix Trilogy Ultimate Collection? Matt goes into further detail as seen in the following.
E-Day is coming in 2025. I want to talk about something else that's a little interesting, is that we have to look at something else that might be coming out in 2025. The word is as well, if you're worried about the right hook, worried about the left one, because apparently Gears of War Collection is also being slated for 2025. I think that they're going to talk about it in the June showcase, or maybe sometime between now and June they'll discuss it, and I think it'll be released somewhere around the June showcase. Now I have one little tidbit of information about that Gears of War collection. The word is, you've heard it here first, folks, no multiplayer in the Gears of War collection. It is going to be single player and co-op only. Single player and co-op only. No multiplayer in the Gears of War collection. Let's also talk talk about the fact that the Gears of War collection and Gears of War E-Day, not sure about how soon after E-Day, if it's going to be day one, but that will be coming out for the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro. I know for sure that the Gears of War collection will be coming out for the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro as well. Today, we are going to be talking about Gears of War, specifically the Gears of War collection. And if you've been following me over the last year and a half, you would know I've been talking up a storm about the Gears of War collection. Why? Because I know the people who are working on it. And so now I've got some new information about what's happening with the Gears of War collection. I am now hearing we will get an announcement sometime in June about the Gears of War collection, and the release date is slated for being between June and September of 2025. However, I am hearing on good authority is that it's going to be releasing sometime in August. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like the Gears of War collection is going to be coming in August of this year. What games are going to be in this collection? We have Gears of War 1, we have Gears of War 2, and we have Gears of War 3. Those will be the three games, the holy trilogy, as it were. Those are the games that are going to be coming out in this collection. Gears of War Judgment will not, 4 and 5 will not be in this collection. This is essentially the original Marcus Fenix collection, as it were. It's pretty simple. Some of the games, well, I mean, specifically the first game is almost 20 years old at this point. And what would you do with that? Well, you know, the people that have played it, they're in their 40s and 50s, some in their 30s. But you know what? There's a whole generation out there who've never even touched these games. That would be like my son's generation, for example. My son is turning into a teenager, is going to be a teenager this year, and he doesn't even know what Gears of War is. You re-release this, you get it out in the wild, you release it for all the systems. He's a PlayStation 5 player. He's going to be exposed to Gears of War. He's going to get that collection, and then he's going to play those games. And what does that do? That reignites passion, that reignites interest in this series. And they're going, wow, look at that. And then what do? Once you drop this collection, bam, you drop the E-Day. Another thing I wanted to note also is that the Gears of War collection will not have multiplayer. It is going to have single player and co-op only. And that's totally fine. Why? Because if you want to get your multiplayer fix, I don't because I suck at it. If you want to get that multiplayer fix, you can go play E-Day when it comes out later this year, or maybe in the first quarter of 2026. Get all the backstory in there and everything else, and you get the lore, or you could just go to E-Day, which kind of goes back a little bit to the beginning anyhow. I'm hearing some plot points, which I'll not spoil here, that there's going to be some tie-ins with the new series, with the old, with the E-Day. But I won't get into that now. Maybe I'll get into that a little bit into the future. I don't want to spoil that for anybody. Just to recap once again, looks like we're getting a June announcement. I'm hearing that's going to be an August release. It is the first 3 games in the series, and there's no multiplayer. It is only single player and co-op.
Overall, for me personally, I've never believed the Gears of War collection to ever exist, just because I've been speaking about it for over 10 plus years now on the channel. Whenever I would meet the coalition developers in person, I would bring up the Gears collection and always just be told, no, it's not happening. However, with these recent rumors regarding a Gears collection not including multiplayer PvP being so specific, and the fact there's so many various gaming insiders are all coming together saying pretty much the same thing, I think that has changed. After all this, I do now believe a Gears of War collection does in fact exist to be the original trilogy campaign story only, to fit into the narrative of explaining what the Coalition Studio has been up to since Gears 5 content support ended in 2021. The Gears collection being the project that the Coalition developers used to learn and practice in Unreal Engine 5 since 2020, rebuilding the entire Gears of War universe with all of the assets from the original Gears games. That would include all characters, weapons, to even every single Locust and Lambent enemy, meaning from a game development point of view, that future Gears of War games can easily feature all of the Gears enemy types for new campaign stories and Horde mode experiences with the groundwork already put in. This was a huge negative criticism of Gears of War 4 and 5, which did really hold back those previous Gears games by not featuring all of the Locust and Lambent enemies of the Gears of War franchise. With Xbox's strategy ever-changing, evolving as the modern gaming age continues to adapt, a Gears of War collection featuring the campaign stories only fits in with Microsoft's multi-platform strategy plan of releasing the Gears of War franchise onto PC and PlayStation 5, that in order to do so, you need the complete Gears of War story available on all platforms, which as of right now isn't the case, and why right now a Gears of War collection campaigns only release makes the absolute perfect sense. Remaster Gears of War 1 and remake Gears of War 2 and 3 campaigns from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5.3 with a multi-platform release on the Xbox Series consoles, PS5 and PC day one with cross-play campaign co-op to get every gaming platform and gamer around the world up to date with the original Gears of War trilogy as we experienced it all those years ago, so that everyone is up to speed with the Gears story, characters and the world of Planet Sera, experiencing the end of the Locust War and how the franchise began, before everyone together around the world gets to play the brand new origin story in the beginning of the Locust War on Emergence Day, and how the Coalition plans for the franchise to continue with Gears of War E-Day and beyond. I am just so ready for the future of Gears of War to begin, whether that be a Gears collection with campaign only or the full package shebang, whatever, with of course Gears of War E-Day coming up real soon anyway. I've been playing and streaming Gears 5 almost daily over on my Twitch channel for the last 6 years straight. I will happily take anything brand new Gears of War to play and just create even more all new Gears of War content for you guys. Obviously, as an OG veteran Gearshead who has been playing all 19 years since November 2006, the original Emergence Day, I would absolutely love to relive the glory days of my childhood, playing through the original trilogy Gears of War multiplayer, especially against a whole new audience of PC and PlayStation players. However, thinking about it realistically, if the Gears of War collection features 3 full campaigns all fully remade from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5.3 at a graphical fidelity of 4K 120 FPS on console, there is absolutely no way you'd be able to include all 3 campaigns, 3 versus multiplayer modes, 3 horde modes that all play completely different from one another into one game title, let alone working smoothly and just be bug free. If the Coalition's reasoning for the Gears collection to feature campaigns only and not include the versus multiplayer or horde mode is because it's either just simply not possible, or the incentive is to provide the value in having the full Gears of War story playable across all gaming platforms, using the Gears collection story to drive up the excitement and not feature other modes because you want to drive all of the players' engagement, game development and resources into delivering the best Gears of War E-Day game possible, I'll be happy with that. In the end, as I've always believed since the very beginning when I made my first Gears of War collection video all the way back now in June 2014, I think the concept idea of a Gears collection featuring the original Gears trilogy packed together with 3 versus multiplayers and 3 horde mode experiences alongside other fan favorites like beast mode, additional unreleased and cut DLC content to all the game modes, multiplayer maps, characters and skins forever, all remade in Unreal Engine 5 at 4K 120 FPS on dedicated servers, would be the ultimate Gears of War gaming experience and an absolute titan in the video game industry, where each major pillar of the franchise in campaign story versus multiplayer to horde mode could foster their very own giant communities. But as always, being a Gears of War fan, we'll just have to wait and see what happens at the Xbox Game Summer June showcase. Please make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me what you think. What is your guys' opinion on Gears of War collection with no versus multiplayer or horde mode? Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're already. If you do enjoy my Gears of War content and want to see even more videos, there is a playlist on my YouTube channel containing all of my other Gears of War E-Day videos so far. If you do want to check out more like this one, click the join button to become a YouTube channel member to gain access to emotes, channel badges, and most importantly, early access to all new videos before anyone else. I want to give a big shout out to all of the members on screen for becoming a Shadow Knight YouTube channel member. I truly appreciate your support. So there you have it guys, full details on Gears of War collection, new insane gaming rumors of no multiplayer and horde mode. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're already. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.